Dealerships are quietly panicking right now. Brand new 2026 vehicles, some with six-figure sticker prices, are sitting on lots collecting dust, unsold for months. Not used cars, not auction inventory, brand new. And some of these models were hot just a year ago. So what flipped? Today, using real market data from CarEdge, we're counting down 12 brand new cars that dealers simply cannot move in 2026, from the slow sellers to the ones nobody's touching at all. Starting us off is the Buick Envision, and honestly, this one has a very specific culprit: geography. The Envision is assembled in China. When the US government hit Chinese-built vehicles with a steep 45% import tariff in 2025, GM didn't eat the cost. They handed it straight to buyers, a roughly $5,000 price increase almost overnight, pushing the starting price to around $43,000 for a mid-grade Buick crossover. Consumers looked at that number and asked the obvious question: why? GM has announced they'll shift production to Kansas, but not until 2028. Until then, the Envision sits in tariff limbo. The numbers: 256 days of supply, over 30,600 units parked at dealerships. Average transaction price $47,100. Next up is the Grand Cherokee L, Jeep's three-row flagship, and it's been sitting on lots a lot longer than most buyers realize. The core problem here is Stellantis' pricing strategy. They've been playing charge more and hope for the best for a couple of years now, and the market is done playing along. The Grand Cherokee L regularly tops $50,000, putting it in direct competition with the Kia Telluride, Hyundai Palisade, and Toyota rivals, vehicles that feel more refined and often cost less. Add in reported infotainment failures, inconsistent dealer experiences, and long service wait times, and shoppers are walking straight past it. CarEdge puts the Grand Cherokee L at 278 days of supply with over 7,300 units waiting on lots. Average price $5,500. Number 2 Ford Bronco. This one might genuinely shock you. Not long ago, the Bronco had wait lists. People were paying above sticker just to get one. That energy? Completely gone. The off-road credentials are still solid. No one's arguing that. But daily driver reality hits hard once you own one. Owners describe the wind noise from those removable roof panels as nearly unbearable. Water leaks are a recurring issue. The ride is punishing. Fuel economy is ugly. And if you're spending close to $50,000, all of that starts to feel unacceptable. But the issue that's really killing it right now is a recall on the APIM module, the system controlling the center touchscreen. When it overheats, your entire screen goes black for up to 5 minutes while you're driving. No backup camera, no navigation, no radio, on a 47,000 truck. That's not a quirk, that's a deal breaker. The Bronco sits at 280 days of supply, with an eye-watering 34,000 plus units on lots nationwide. Average transaction price $47,700. Number 9 Dodge Charger. Few relaunches in recent memory have stirred up as much controversy as the 2026 Dodge Charger, and the sales figures confirm the backlash is real. Dodge tried to modernize the Charger by merging its old Charger and Challenger DNA onto a single platform available in both gas and electric. Sounds bold, but it's not landing with either audience. The Hemi V8 is dead. In its place is a 3.0-litre twin-turbo inline-six called the Hurricane, making up to 550 horsepower in Scat Pack trim. Impressive on paper, but hardcore Charger fans didn't come for specs. They came for that visceral V8 experience, and no spec sheet replaces it. Then there's the price. The base gas Charger starts near $52,000, a jump of roughly $15,000 over the previous generation. The era of the attainable American muscle car is effectively over. 309 days of supply. Over 7,700 units unsold. Average transaction price $59,800. Number 8 Jeep Gladiator. The Gladiator built its identity on being unique, a Wrangler with a truck bed, and for a while, that was enough. But in 2026, unique doesn't pay the bills if it doesn't make sense for your life. The lifestyle truck market is cooling. People are buying smarter, and the Gladiator's real-world weaknesses are impossible to ignore at this price point. The fuel economy is rough. The ride gets old fast. The bed is too short to compete with traditional mid-size pickups. And a loaded Gladiator pushes well past $50,000, which is exactly where the refreshed Toyota Tacoma and Ford Ranger are waiting to take your money more sensibly. Some dealers are reportedly cutting 20% off MSRP just to move units. 323 days of supply. Over 16,300 units sitting nationwide. Average price $5,300. Number 7 Chevrolet Blazer EV. The Blazer EV had one of the rockiest product launches in recent automotive history, and the 2026 model is still dealing with the damage. The headline issue that killed consumer trust early? Removing Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, GM swapped them out for a native Google-based system, and buyers are furious. Owners have described the software as unreliable at best, with reports of frozen screens, rear camera failures, and cars that don't properly shut down after you exit. A stop sale order was issued in 2024 to address these problems. Based on owner feedback, 2026 models still have issues. There's also an active recall on the parking brake wiring harness. It can either unexpectedly engage or fail to engage at all. That's not a minor bug. Today's car shopper does their homework, and the homework on the Blazer EV is not good. 329 days of supply. Just over 3,100 units waiting at dealerships. Average selling price, $49,300. Real quick, if this kind of data-backed content is useful to you, hit that like and subscribe button. It genuinely helps the channel, and we've got a lot more breakdowns just like this one coming. Okay, let's keep going. This one is genuinely a little sad because the Altima served a lot of families well for a long time, but right now it's in a no man's land that buyers are wisely avoiding. Nissan confirmed the 2026 Altima is the final generation before the nameplate is discontinued. The moment that news spread, resale value dropped, and shoppers with a brain shifted their attention to the Toyota Camry or Honda Accord, cars that will hold their value and still be serviced in 5 years. Beyond the discontinuation, the Altima carries long-standing baggage. Nissan's CVT transmission has a history of costly failures. Replacements can run over $5,500. The 2.5-litre engine is also known for excessive oil consumption, potentially adding up to $60 a month in oil top-offs on a car you're still financing. That's a tough pill to swallow. 357 days of supply. Just over 100 units currently listed. Average transaction price, $3,900. Number 5 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4-door. Yes, this is the second Jeep Grand Cherokee on this list, and no, it's not a mistake. The regular 4-door Grand Cherokee is a separate entry from the L, and the fact that both models made this list says everything about where the Jeep brand stands right now. The standard Grand Cherokee used to be the sweet spot. Capable, practical, and priced within reason. Stellantis ended that. Average transaction prices now sit above $47,000, which places it in direct competition with more refined, more reliable crossovers from Hyundai, Kia, and Toyota. Long service waits, persistent infotainment issues, and dealer add-ons that inflate final prices have done serious damage to consumer trust. Jeep is learning that brand loyalty has a ceiling, and they've hit it. 365 days of supply and essentially a full year of inventory sitting still, over 2,500 units on lots nationwide. That's the largest raw number on this entire list. Number 5 Mitsubishi Outlander. The Outlander pitches itself as a family-friendly 3-row SUV. The problem is it doesn't really deliver on that promise, and buyers are noticing. For 2026, Mitsubishi dropped in a 1.5-litre turbocharged engine producing 174 horsepower in a vehicle weighing more than 3,700 pounds. Reviewers have called the acceleration lethargic. That word sounds forgivable until you're merging onto a busy highway with a full car, and suddenly it becomes very real. The third row? It's effectively a bench for small children. And the steering is vague, the brakes feel soft, and dealer markups have pushed prices toward $45,000, destroying the value proposition that was always the Outlander's strongest argument. 372 days of supply. Over 7,600 units waiting. Average price, $37,100. Number 3 Jeep Wrangler, 2-door. 3 Jeeps, 1 list. That's the story. This time it's the 2-door Wrangler specifically, and the data tells you exactly why. Most buyers who want a Wrangler want the 4-door Unlimited. More seating, more cargo room, more usability. The 2-door has become a niche product, but Jeep is pricing it like it's a flagship. A Willys trim 2-door Wrangler crosses $51,000. That's asking a lot. Pricing alone doesn't explain all of it either. Some 2026 owners have reported powertrain failures and check engine lights appearing in fewer than 1,000 miles. That kind of early ownership experience destroys word of mouth, the most powerful marketing Jeep ever had. 373 days of supply, over 9,200 units on lots, average transaction price $42,500. Number 2 Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Mach-E's situation isn't a slowdown, it's a collapse. Ford's EV deliveries cratered in Q1 2026, with Mach-E numbers down more than 60% compared to the same period last year. Several things hit at once, and the timing couldn't have been worse. The $7,500 federal tax credit for Mach-E buyers disappeared. Depreciation on the model is among the worst in the EV segment. Owners lose roughly 60% of the vehicle's value over 5 years. Buyers figured out they can pick up a low-mileage used Mach-E for around $20,000. Why would anyone pay $40,000 for a new one? On top of that, there are active recalls covering headlight failures and lingering concerns around Blue Cruise software, including a rollaway defect that didn't help the vehicle's safety perception. 548 days of supply. Nearly a year and a half of inventory stacked up. Over 4,100 units available right now. Average price, $49,500. Number 6 Audi Escovia. And here we are. Number 1, the single hardest to sell new vehicle in America right now, and it's not remotely close. The 2026 Audi SQ5 was completely redesigned, and according to both critics and owners who loved the previous generation, Audi made the wrong calls on almost every interior decision. The twin-turbo V6 still performs. Nobody's complaining about the engine. The complaints are about everything surrounding it. Owners describe the cabin as feeling cheap, too much gloss black plastic that picks up fingerprints instantly and scratches just as fast. Climate controls were moved into the touchscreen, meaning you have to take your eyes off the road just to adjust the temperature on a 76,000 vehicle. Then the software bugs. The MMI system randomly goes silent as if it's taking a call when there's no call. Navigation displays turns on screen but stops reading them aloud. Harsh gear changes in dynamic mode. These aren't early adoption hiccups. These are $76,000 problems. The result? A jaw-dropping 626 days of market day supply, almost 2 full years of inventory, the #1 unsold new car in the country. So there you have it, 12 brand new 2026 vehicles that dealers genuinely cannot move, backed by real market data. Some of these failed because of bad timing, some because of bad decisions, and some because the market just moved on before the automaker noticed. If this breakdown was useful, smash that like button. It helps more than you think, and it tells me to keep making content like this. Subscribe if you want the next deep dive the moment it drops. I'll see you there.